So I'm on the other end of the story I'm about to tell you. It's not something that I have publicly spoken about before or really disclosed about myself ever. Ever. I've not even told family. I've even told some of my closest friends about this. And yeah, I just thought I would get that burp out of the way. Oh my god. And I just wanted to talk about it. I was addicted to spice for like a year when I was 17. So yeah, from when I was 17 to about 18, I suffered from addiction. And a year isn't too bad. In the grand scheme of things, that's a very small part of my life, but I was addicted. It was a coping mechanism I would use to better myself. And yeah, I'm gonna get into how this all started, what kept me doing it, and when I realized I was addicted and how I got help. So this obviously starts when I was 17 and I was at the skate park. I would often go there with friends, and it then led to weed, and we smoked weed. And weed actually started a bit before this in school, but it was properly involved with my life to the full extent until I started skating and being around people that smoked a lot. And yeah, this brought in weed, this brought in nicotine into my life. That is something that I still struggle with. And yeah, this basically was a gateway. I know everyone says this, but it was a gateway into spice. And I didn't know what spice was at the time. I didn't even know that I was about to get involved with it when I smoked what I smoked. And essentially what we were smoking in this vape that we got sold by some sketchy people in a sketchy sort of area was spice, was a literal compound that was made to mimic marijuana, and I got addicted to it. It was more enjoyable than weed for me, and I preferred it over weed, and I didn't know that it was not weed. I just saw it as a kind of inhalant that was weed, but it wasn't. It was just fucking crack, pretty much. And yeah, it literally took a hold of my life. I remember every bit of money that I would get would go towards this juice that we'd put in our vape, and yeah, that was spice, a maybe even legal drug. It was basically a legal high. If it was looked under the microscope, they wouldn't find anything illegal about the compound, and it would have been passed, and you could probably sell it in a shop. Which is the crazy thing about some of these compounds, is that as long as you have one little difference in the compound, it will make it a completely different one, even though it mimics it and it still attaches to the same THC inhibitors. It basically is classed as a completely different drug. And this is exactly what I was taking for the next year in a vape. And I don't know what kind of damage it could have done to me at that age. I know at 17 I was really, really, really developing, and I probably fucked up my head a lot during that stage, and I probably have done irreparable amounts of damage. I can't even say that, irreparable amounts of damage to my brain and just my system as a whole for kind of taking that for a whole year. I know there are gonna be family that sees this video and they're gonna watch this video, and I I really don't know what to say to that, because I'm really embarrassed, but I did just want to bring it up and talk about it in a video. But yeah, this wasn't immediate at first, and throughout the next few months, I was smoking this stuff, believing that it was weed, like an idiot. I don't know what kind of idiot believes that weed can be put into a vape, but I was 17 at the time, and I was just, I was, I just fully believed that it was weed until I was out with a lot of mates, and some of them were chronic weed smokers and have been for longer than I have at that point, and they had mentioned this weed like substance that was being put into vapes that was being sold as weed despite the fact it being crack, and essentially what they were calling it was a crack vape. And at that point I just knew that I was pretty much a drug addict, like not any weed addict, but I was like addicted to a synthetic drug that mimicked THC. It hit me pretty hard, and I really wanted to quit it at the time, but it was something that just kept coming back to me, and it was just something that was constantly living in my life, like some kind of fucking demon that just wouldn't go away. And it was really fucking annoying to quit out of, and I actually ended up turning to a little like drug addict help group. Like I think this was just after COVID, and it took me a bit to slowly start phasing it out. I'd say like I was fully addicted for a year, almost a half. But I suffered from like heavy sweats and actually some amount of insomnia. Like I couldn't sleep a lot because I didn't have this spice that would help me relax a lot. One thing that was a massive benefit was having a passion that I could like switch to if I ever felt like I wanted to use the stuff. It would really help me out to just be able to focus my mind on something more creative or having some kind of outlet. And eventually, after undergoing this whole withdrawal process, I came clean and I'm alright now, and we're good. So, yeah. Um, if you liked the video, drop me a like and think about subscribing maybe if you want to see other videos. And thank you for watching. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.